Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. There's a strange comfort in pretending things are separate. It makes life feel manageable. My problems over here, your problems over there. Nature out there, politics somewhere else. Technology in another box entirely. My inner world tucked safely inside my skin. Separation creates boundaries we can navigate. But the longer you look at reality, really look, the harder it becomes to believe in true isolation. This episode is called When Everything Talks to Everything. And I don't mean that poetically. I mean it structurally. Every system you can think of only works because of relationship. A forest isn't just a collection of trees, its roots intertwining beneath the soil, nutrients passing unseen, fungi acting like living bridges. One tree struggles and others respond. Your body isn't a stack of independent parts. It's communication, constantly signaling electrical pulses, chemical messengers, feedback loops adjusting without you ever knowing that they're happening. Even your thoughts are influenced by memory, and memory is influenced by emotion, and emotion is influenced by relationship, and relationship is influenced by history. Pull on one thread and something else moves. We tend to think in straight lines, cause and effect. This leads to that. But reality feels more like a web than a line. An action here reverberates there. A tone of voice shifts a mood alters a decision, and a decision redirects a day. And that day might quietly change your life. It doesn't take much. A moment of encouragement can redirect someone's courage. A moment of cruelty can redirect someone's confidence. These are not small ripples. They travel. You can see this clearly in your own life if you pause long enough. Someone's patience with you allowed you to breathe instead of react. Someone's absence shaped how you attach. Someone's belief in you gave you permission to try. We carry one another inside of us. And it doesn't stop at people. The air you breathe was exhaled by something living before you. The food you eat carries sunlight stored inside it. The technology you hold in your hand was shaped by countless minds across decades. Ideas layered upon ideas, none of them truly independent. Even the concept of self begins to soften when you examine it closely. Where do you end and the world begin? Your skin isn't a wall, it's a membrane. Information passes through it constantly. Energy passes through it constantly. You are not a sealed container, you are an intersection. Now here's where it becomes deeply hopeful. If everything is connected, then love is not confined to private emotion. It becomes participatory. When you choose to soften instead of harden, that softness does not stop at you. It alters the atmosphere of the room, everyone around you. When you refuse to dehumanize someone, even your thoughts, even in your thoughts, that refusal It affects how you speak. How you speak affects how others respond, and how they respond shifts the whole environment. It is almost impossible to trace how far a loving action travels. But that doesn't make it small. It makes it vast. There is a tendency in heavy times like we're in to feel powerless, to feel like individual choices don't matter because the world feels too large, too fractured, and too loud. But if everything talks to everything, then nothing is insignificant. A single steady presence in a chaotic space can stabilize more than you imagine. A single voice that refuses cruelty can disrupt more than you see. The web is sensitive, and because it is sensitive, it is responsive. You felt this in moments when tension dissolved because one person chose to de-escalate instead of retaliate. You've seen it when kindness spread through a group almost effortlessly. There is communication happening beyond words. We are constantly influencing one another's nervous systems. We are constantly adjusting to each other's tone. And we are constantly shaping the emotional climate we live in. And the love force, the connective principle we keep returning to, is what makes this web coherent instead of chaotic. Without love, connection becomes manipulation. Without love, influence becomes control, and without love, relationship becomes competition. But when love is present, connection becomes collaboration, influence becomes inspiration, and relationship becomes growth. Love doesn't eliminate complexity. It stabilizes it. It allows difference without fracture. It allows tension without destruction. And when you begin to see the world as an interconnected field instead of a battlefield of separate parts, something shifts inside you. You become more careful, not fearful. Careful. You recognize that your words land somewhere, that your silence lands somewhere too, that your presence contributes to the shared atmosphere. We take this responsibility on in just being humans. And here's the most empowering part. You don't have to control the entire web. You couldn't if you wanted to. You can't. You only have to tend your point of contact, the place where your choices meet the world. And that's enough. Because in a connected system, small adjustments propagate. You may never see the farthest edge of the ripple. We've talked about this over and over again. But you can trust that it exists. This is not blind optimism. It's structural awareness. When everything talks to everything, then love is not sentimental. It's strategic in the most beautiful sense. It becomes the stabilizing frequency in a sensitive system, the grounding current, the coherence that keeps the web from tearing itself apart. So maybe the invitation today is simple. Remember that you are not isolated. Remember that your choices participate in something larger. Remember that every act of compassion strengthens the connective tissue of the world. Everything matters, guys. And when you feel small, when you feel like your love couldn't possibly matter in the scale of everything, take a pause, take a breath, and consider this. In a living web, there are no irrelevant threads. when everything talks to everything, your love is part of the conversation. And I love you guys very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on, all right? Later, Gators. Bye-bye.